Hello Cedar Creek students, welcome back for another installment in our distance learning FIAD here for Cedar Creek. Today we're going to continue working on our striking, but we're going to use it more in a manner with some sort of racket sport like tennis or ping pong or racquetball or handball. So what you're going to need today is some sort of object again to hit. Could be a balloon, could be rolled up socks. Maybe you have a tape ball, maybe a little bigger than this one. We're going to use it to start out with just learning our, we'll call it our tennis stroke, with our arm movement only, using our hand as our racket. Okay, so first we're going to learn the forehand swing. And all I'm going to want you to do is hit the balloon with your hand in an open position. Okay? So 5 things we need to remember to be in a good striking position and a good stroke as we hit the ball. First and foremost, I have my tape line again. We stand perpendicular, kind of like we are on our skateboard. Okay, so we're perpendicular to the direction we want to hit the ball, or the target we want to hit our object towards. Okay? Secondly, we start with our arm, or if we had a racket, straight back behind us with our weight slightly back on our back foot. Okay? Then third, we want to strike the ball out in front of our foot, but to do that, we swing forward and slightly upward with our hand. So the plane or the direction of our hand would go slightly up, not way up like we're underhand swinging, but just slightly up to strike our ball. That will make it hit it straight towards our target easier. We swing slightly upward. Okay? When we strike the ball, it should be out in front of our foot. Okay? Not more in the middle or more on our back foot. Okay? But more near the front of our foot when we strike the ball. And then follow through by twisting our shoulders and our hips as we strike the ball. Notice my hand doesn't wave forward and my elbow doesn't swing forward, but rather I keep my arm perfectly straight as I rotate my shoulders and my hips to strike the ball. So when we go to drop our balloon or our ball, we want to hold it about at the height we want to strike it at, slightly above. So as we drop it, we can swing through and strike the ball. Okay? So we're just going to practice now, holding our ball softly, our back arm in a ready position to strike, and our weight back. And then we drop and swing. Get back on our skateboard, hand back, ball near the front of our foot, and weight back, and drop and swing. Get in our position, just practice that. Coming through, keeping our eyes on the ball at all times to track it as we swing our arm through to strike the ball. Okay? Maybe practice that about 10 or 15 times to get that motion down. Arm straight, using our shoulders and our hips to rotate our body to strike the ball. Try not to just swing with our hand. It's much less accurate. We're trying to keep our arm in the line or the plane where the ball is coming to. And make sure we have a good distance from our body. We don't want to be hitting it right in here, but rather want a forearm distance out when we have our hand. Okay? Nice and easy. And every time we strike it straight forward, it tells us we made a good hit with our movement. Okay? Now you can use any type of implement that you have to now try it like we would with a racket. So some of us may have a racket. You could use that. Otherwise, like from our previous lesson, we could use a frying pan or a cardboard box cutout, or if we can make a paper plate racket. Okay, I've basically stuck two paper plates together with a paint stick in between. So I cut it out to make them both pinch it tightly, to hold it better, to make it a more sturdy racket. So you have two plates instead of just one. And then to practice again now we have to reach out a little farther because now our target is further away because of the implement I'm using. But we still have the same motion. So we start perpendicular on our skateboard. Then we hold our balloon out in front of our front foot, arm straight, and paddle ready to hit. And then we drop, transfer weight, swing. Drop, transfer weight, swing. So again, we can use other implements, still holding it the same way. Okay. Skateboard, holding it out by our front foot, rotating our shoulders and our hips. Following through. Ooh. Too close, gotta get it farther away. So holding it way out front, drop, hit. Okay? So that would be our forehand for our tennis, ping pong, racquetball, handball. Next we're going to do our backhand, which is a little more awkward for a lot of people. And to learn it, it's also going to be a little awkward. So we'll start with our balloon. And basically our forehand is obviously with the front of our hand. Our backhand is using the same hand, but using the back part of it. So we're still using the same steps, we're just using the other side of our hand. But we still want to be on our skateboard in a perpendicular position. Arm going slightly upward, and then our contact point is still out in front of us, which is a little more difficult because we're using our opposite hand, so we're going to have to hold our ball with our arms crossed, and then toss and hit. Transferring our weight and still turning our shoulders and our hips to strike the ball. Trying to hit it straight forward, and striking. Transferring our weight and rotating our hips and shoulders. So notice how on this one, I kind of bring my hand back, and then swing and adjust. Good spacing, so we're reaching way out in front of us to strike the ball. Again, we choose whatever implement we want to use and trying to strike that ball as we come through, practicing how we do that. Okay, so think of those 5 steps. Using first our hand, this will be a little easier to guide our hand there. Then we extend our hand with an implement, which is a little more difficult after we've practiced for about 3 to 5 minutes. Alright, so those are the 2 striking movements I want you to practice today. Alright, then once you've practiced them a bunch of times, you could on your own try and see if you can bounce it off the wall. So you got to move quickly to get back into your position. Hit it again. See if you can hit it a few times in a row. And the more solid you hit it, the greater the chance it's going to come back to you. Okay? Notice how if we don't hit it straight to it, it goes off. We have a little more room. Up more in front. Okay. To do this last activity, please check with your parents to make sure it's safe to do that. You could, if it were a nicer day, go outside and maybe use one of your garage walls or your garage door. Again, checking with your parents to practice that. With a balloon, you could have a partner that you play a game with. Set a line or some obstacle on the ground and try and hit it and hit back and forth to each other. Good form as we do it each time. So you may have to move depending on where your partner hits the ball to get in a good position to always be on your skateboard. Hand back, rotate shoulders and hips as we transfer our weight to strike the ball and follow through. Okay? So take some time up today first, using only our hand to practice and get down our movement. Then some sort of implement, frying pan, tennis racket, paper plate racket, or a longer cardboard box. Hold it up and then practice it, trying to hit it with proper form, and then try and play a game on your own. We'll call it ricochet off of there. It could even be softly with a tennis ball that bounces and then play it off the bounce, or with a partner trying to keep it in the air with a balloon or a soft object, especially inside, so we're always safe, never having any issues. All right? I hope you enjoy our activities, and we'll see you at our next installment.